The failure of the first Steam machines really boils down to three huge mistakes. First off, the hardware was a complete mess. Instead of making one Steam machine, Valve let a dozen different partners make their own. You had boxes from Alienware, from Zotok, from all these boutique builders, and they all had different specs, different sizes, and wildly different prices. For a customer, this was just total confusion. When you buy a PlayStation, you know what you're getting. But what was the Steam machine? Was it a high-end PC that cost $1,000 or some budget box that could barely run new games at 1080p? The answer was yes. And that lacked clarity and identity. And it was the first nail in the coffin. The second mistake was even bigger. The software just wasn't ready. The whole thing was built on SteamOS, which is based on Linux. Gabe Newell himself had called Windows 8 a catastrophe, and saw Linux as the escape plan for PC gaming. But back then, gaming on Linux was a niche inside of a niche. The number of games that actually ran on it was tiny. Developers weren't on board, and Valve's tech for running Windows games, the thing that would eventually become Proton, well, it was in its absolute infancy. This created the ultimate chicken and the egg problem. Gamers wouldn't buy a console that couldn't play their games, and developers wouldn't waste time porting games to a console nobody was buying. In the end, a lot of the hardware partners just gave up and installed Windows on their machines to actually sell them, which completely defeated the whole point. And finally, maybe the biggest problem, the Steam machines had no clear why. Who was this even for? They were more expensive than a PS4 or Xbox, but way less powerful and flexible than a real gaming PC. Hardcore PC gamers already had their own rigs. Console gamers had cheaper, simpler boxes that they knew what they were getting and what games would work on it. The Steam machine was stuck in this weird middle ground, a solution looking for a problem.